Facing a rising tide of anger from gay and lesbian groups, President Obama will take his first major action on gay rights at 5:45 Eastern tonight. He'll sign a memorandum granting some benefits to unwed domestic partners who are federal employees, and that, of course, includes some same-sex partners. To put this provocative hot topic in some context, gay and lesbian groups have been seething over the last few months over what they see as President Obama actually abandoning his promises to the community. Now, first on gay marriage. Gay and lesbian groups consider a June 12th Justice Department brief, which actually defended the Defense Against Marriage Act, as a slap in the face. Also on Don't Ask, Don't Tell, activists are disappointed at the White House for refusing to intervene in the cases of military members dismissed for being gay. And there's still plenty of anger over the president's invitation, as you recall, to Reverend Rick Warren to deliver the prayer during the presidential inauguration. Joining us now to put some perspective on this hot topic, Michelangelo Signorelli of the daily political talk show on XM Radio. Washington Post editorial writer Jonathan Capehart is in D.C., and our guest host for the day, Katrina Vanden Heuvel, editor and publisher of The Nation magazine, is back here. Michelangelo, I'm going to turn to you first. How have you been disappointed in President Barack Obama's efforts to date in the realm of gay rights?
He's been very slow in dealing with the issues, and really it's been about tone more than anything else. You know, people understand we're just a half a year into this administration. They also understand on the big issues, legislation, repealing the Defense of Marriage Act, repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell. It takes time. But he really shifted dramatically from the campaign in the rhetoric he uses. Doesn't even talk about gay rights, doesn't even talk about a passion for equality for people. And I think that has really added a lot to people's disappointment. They feel like they're just completely left out in the cold.
Katrina, are you surprised at all, or do you say to yourself, he had a horrific economic situation to deal with, and he looks back on Bill Clinton's struggles in '93, and he says to himself, and his advisors say, gotta wait?
Well, Michael, we were talking about this. I mean, there is a sense that this administration is looking backwards when it should be looking forwards. The momentum on gay marriage in this country has been very powerful. But Barack Obama has said of himself that he is, quote, a ruthless pragmatist. We've talked about this.
Sure.
Clearly, he's trying to hold on to political capital for other fights. I think he's behind the curve. The key thing, and in The Nation we're writing about progressives and the fights ahead, no real change in this country has come about without a struggle and a fight. And gay rights activists and movements need to push a president who is a former community organizer and push him to take a stance that is about equality and justice. And that will be a fight ahead.
Jonathan, I actually, to continue on Katrina's point, I think if anything I take away from the last 6 months on this issue with President Obama, it's a reminder that the president is a leader, but not the only leader, and that other people, whether it's the Iowa Supreme Court or activists, are going to have to take steps too. Are you hopeful that there will be significant changes on the gay rights issue, even if Obama doesn't lead the way?
Certainly. I think one of the things that we've seen with President Obama is that he does a lot of work, and his administration does a lot of work behind the scenes, out of public view, to get actual work done, and then makes the big announcements. The unfortunate situation that he's in today is that something that would normally have been celebrated, which is this presidential memorandum that's going to be announced today at about 5:45 in the Oval Office, would have been reasonably good news for federal employees and for the gay community in general. The problem has been that the president has not articulated a vision or a message for the gay community since before inauguration, and the brief that was defending the Defense of Marriage Act in that case involving a California couple, that was the first substantive comment on gay and lesbian issues to come out of his administration since inauguration, and unfortunately that was the spark that's pushed people in the gay community from just pushing the president to really flame-throwing him and basically thinking that he has abandoned the community, when I personally think he hasn't.
Michelangelo, we only have a few more moments here, but I've also been struck by the movement on the right. Dick Cheney is technically to the left of Barack Obama on this issue. Steve Schmidt, McCain's campaign advisor, Ted Olson, the big Republican lawyer. Is that the hope? Is that ultimately how the breakthrough happens? That certainly happened on civil rights.
There is absolutely no question that we are winning, and winning very fast and very big. The administration is way behind. And the change from the campaign to the administration has been who Barack Obama is surrounded by. A lot of Clinton administration people like Rahm Emanuel, who I think are really dinosaurs on this issue. We've moved forward. The country has moved forward.
Ouch, Rahm, are you listening?
We've got a whole different world now, and people are ready to accept basic equality. And you know, what Jonathan was talking about, this federal worker benefit scheme, there aren't even any health benefits in it. I mean, when you think about health benefit, when you think about I'm getting benefits, companies give me benefits, you think about health benefits. There's nothing in it for people for their health care.
We actually don't know what's in it just yet.
The administration is holding that
information very tightly.
One reason we don't know what's in it is that it was scrambled together. They don't even know what they're doing. It was scrambled together because they weren't paying attention to this issue. This was a huge mistake, and it is going to hurt them. There's a DNC
Carlos,
fundraiser that is now collapsing.
One thing that you need to know is that health benefits may or may not be in it because you need legislation in order to extend those health benefits to same-sex partners.
Right. The Defense of Marriage Act prevents that, and that was the brief Obama defended in a heinous and very ugly way the other day, and one that I think they're going to be sorry about.
Defending a law, by the way, that another Democrat, Clinton, signed in '96. We're going to have to leave it there.